All right, now to give us more perspective in terms of what's, of course, happening between India and Canada at this moment, we're being joined by Mr. Michael Rubin, the former Pentagon official and also a senior fellow at the American Enterprise Institute. Mr. Rubin, thank you very much indeed for joining us here on WION. Now, the question that I want to start with is this. You know, Justin Trudeau, the Prime Minister of Canada, in fact, made that wild and bizarre statement on the floor of the House in the Parliament. It's 5 days since he said, what he said. But so far, we've not heard any kind of proof to back up those claims. What do you make of this?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me, Mohammed. Look, when I worked at the Pentagon, I consumed intelligence. I was provided with intelligence. And oftentimes intelligence is a lot less clear than perhaps politicians want to make out. Certainly in the United States, we saw this with regard to the Iraq War. And so the silence of the Five Eyes could simply be because Justin Trudeau was adding an interpretation to which the intelligence community didn't agree. But frankly, when we look at the Premier of British Columbia, the province of Canada in which this happened, say that he has gotten the briefing from Canadian intelligence and he hasn't seen any distinct intelligence, really seems to suggest that Justin Trudeau was making things up as he went along at a tremendous diplomatic cost.
Absolutely, indeed. And the reason as to why the India-Canada relations have plummeted in this manner is because the statement came from an individual no less than the Prime Minister of Canada. One would assume that the Canadian Prime Minister would have been briefed properly and appropriately by the intelligence agencies within Canada before he would have made that statement on the floor of the Parliament. Do you think that there was a bit of an issue between what was perhaps told to him by the Canadian intelligence agencies and what he ended up saying?
No, I suspect that this is more just a simple case of Justin Trudeau's rather shallow personality in terms of this. I very much suspect that Canadian intelligence is very upset at the way this is handled. Either it was intelligence which Justin Trudeau purposely twisted, or else it was intelligence which wasn't prepared to be shared. But either way, remember that even if hypothetically India had been involved in this, it also sheds light on the fact that Canada has become a harborer of terrorism, of terror finance, and a safe haven for terrorists. So either way, Justin Trudeau was way off the line for making the accusations he did.
Now, according to reports that are coming in, it's being said that the reason as to why Justin Trudeau made that bizarre and wild allegation is on the basis of intelligence that was shared with him, not only by the Canadian intelligence agencies, but also by the intelligence of the Five Eyes. We do not know as to which of the eyes perhaps had some kind of an input which resulted in this statement. But at this moment, Ms. Rubin, do you think any of the other Five Eyes will in fact come forth and say and talk openly about this intelligence, because the matter is quite clearly blown up?
First of all, I don't think anyone else will come out and say. That said, let's look at the silver lining here. Nijjar was a terrorist, and if others within the U.S., for example, in the United States, were paying attention to him, that's a good thing, because we should be monitoring the terrorists, especially after the attacks on the San Francisco consulate and so forth. That said, I suspect what the play will be on the part of the United States, and even though I have no insight, I suggest that it's the United States which would have the intelligence apparatus to be the one of the Five Eyes that perhaps shared intelligence with Canada. I suspect that the strategy of the United States will be to wait until Justin Trudeau loses his next election, and then things can be rebuilt in a much more productive way between Ottawa and Delhi.
To take that a bit forward, are you suggesting that the way that relations can now improve between India and Canada is only once Justin Trudeau is out of power?
That's exactly what I'm saying. And frankly, the irony of this whole situation is while the Indian press castigates Justin Trudeau for being completely out of his element and, having a confused, unprofessional reaction, there's a great similarity to the Canadian press there, which talks about Justin Trudeau being in way over his head. The fact of the matter is, if this was a cynical political gamble on the part of the Canadian Prime Minister, it backfired tremendously, and it's only hastened his forthcoming defeat.
Absolutely, indeed. Thank you very much, indeed, Mr. Rubin, for joining us and getting us all those insights there. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.